Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
Oh my, I think tomorrow night's Jaguars-Steelers preseason game just got kicked up a notch or two. I'll tell you my theory, my thought process on that as we welcome you to the Young and Norvelle Show. Hope to hear from Patric Young a little bit later here on the program as we head into a busy weekend. We got NFL preseason. We've got obviously Major League Baseball starting to wind down. A lot of stuff going on. So hang tight with us through 6 o'clock at least, and we'll give you a lot of topics. Hope to hear from Brent Beard, talk some college sports / college football with our buddy Brent Beard. Got a lot to get to, and we'll cover it here for 2 solid hours right here on the Young and Norvelle Show. Casey Kurtz producing. Again, I'm Terry Norvelle. Hope to hear from Patric in a little bit. You know, last night there were some storylines, or at least one storyline, that I thought kind of made the Colts game a little watchable. And we talked as we welcome Patric Young. Pat, we talked yesterday. You know, preseason football is hard. NFL preseason, it's hard. There's not a lot to really get excited after about the first kickoff. You get bored with it, and there's not a lot. Well, I thought certain situations, I think, can change that to a degree. We may have one here in Jacksonville, but before we get to that, yesterday we were talking about, okay, there's a quarterback controversy, I think, a legitimate – somebody's going to win the quarterback starting job in Indy. And we thought, okay, AR is going to get the start, and they're going to go back and forth with I'm sorry, drawing a blank. Daniel Jones.
Jones.
Yeah. So and I think that was a legitimate storyline. Now it got shattered because, God Almighty, did AR get planted? He broke a finger or had a finger dislocated or whatever. So that game didn't play out, and depending on, it looks like AR will be back on Saturday, next Saturday, I think it is. They're saying. So I think he'll be okay. But there at least was a storyline. Let's stop right here. If you're AR, don't you have to see that blitzing defensive end coming on your open side?
Yeah.
God, he was. Yeah, it wasn't backside. It wasn't blind side. It was on his open side.
No, it was the front side. Yeah. You hate to put the blame on him, but often, like Aaron Rodgers, you have your opinion. He knows, all right, I need to change my protection because that guy, because I called a shift, and they'll tell you, I called a shift for the O-line guys. Like, there was nobody there. Yeah. The right tackle did his job. Like, it wasn't one of those things where you say, dang, right tackle, how'd you miss the guy?
Yeah.
No, he was engaged, and there's two things. They say, okay, I'm not going to call the change of protection here. I know I got to get the ball out quickly, quick.
Yeah.
Or I tell my tight end or my running back, come over here to chip this guy, at least.
Yeah. Oh, it was a free run. It was a free run, and you
never
just
see. That's what DNs, they salivate over opportunities to hit a quarterback like that.
Yeah. But you know, the really good seasoned quarterbacks, even if all that happens to the negative, right? You forget to call a slide protection. You forget to alert a back to, hey, maybe call an audible back and slide to the right, not to all that. But the really good ones that have a feel, I think within the last 2 steps, they feel that guy, and they either duck forward, they duck back, they duck under, or something. And what a shame, because you know he needs Anthony Richardson. Not that Daniel Jones was any good last night. I mean, he was mediocre at best.
He's 8 of 21 or 10 of 21.
Yeah, but I mean that's 21. That's 20 more passes than AR threw. You know, you're like, man, he needs to get out there. I will say this though, it is a little discouraging when you read social media, and I read a lot of it this morning and last night when AR got hurt, and you still hear fans and read fans posting this kind of stuff, Patric, about AR. Made of glass. made of glass. And then I see a lot of this too. He should have stayed at Florida another year. Well, Patrick, help me out here. These are comments about Anthony Richardson after he gets injured. So I'm assuming these comments are about the injury. To me, Patrick, I don't think you're born with a propensity to get injured. Right?
No. No.
I don't think I don't think if you took blood out of Anthony Richardson's arm now and ran tests, I don't think it would come back and say, this guy, compared to that quarterback, this guy's going to get injured a lot. And the argument, you hear it a lot, he should have stayed at Florida another year. Well, what would that do for an injury? I don't know what fans think sometimes.
Yeah, no, you make a good point, because people that aren't thinking big picture, they might say in terms of, does he have some type of physical ailment in his DNA that makes? No, he doesn't. Like it's not like Michael Phelps, where he has this natural ability to that his body does something different with the lactic acid. Yeah. So it's not one of those freak things. If you want to argue and say, well, he is playing football, it's a physical sport, blah blah blah. Yeah. Sure, absolutely. Some guys have bad luck. Offensive lines, like having a good one, it is so rare. Absolutely. But to be on the side of those people that say, look at Jaden Daniels, look at Jalen Hurts, look at CJ Stroud, I gotta say, yeah, guys, you're right. What they put Anthony Richardson in an impossible situation. He was never as good as those guys in college.
Well said.
Nowhere close.
Well said.
Nowhere close to as good as those guys. So the Colts set him up to fail. Yeah. And look, as a Jags fan, I'm like, thank you, Colts. But I'm looking like I want nobody wants Anthony Richardson to be bad.
I agree.
But you put him in a position where, like, he can't do the simple things good. Even one of the completions that he made on an out route coming back, he threw that ball so short, like the receiver had to come back and dive to catch it. Yeah. And gosh, it just seems like this kid is just. And I listened to him. He was on a podcast involving the Church of 1122, Pastor Joby Martin and Denny Thompson. And you love this kid. Yeah. And he has such a great mindset. I just don't think he's ever been put in the best position to succeed. Yeah,
I'm with you. It is a bit of a shame. I just want to see. I want for Anthony. I'm sure his people and Colt fans. It's time for this year 3. It's time for him to put all of his plays on the pedestal and get him judged and say, okay, are you the guy to hand the franchise to, or are you not the guy? And unfortunately, getting injured doesn't let that happen. I love your point a moment ago when you talked about Anthony in college, and then you mentioned Jaden Daniels and a couple other guys. And I think you're so right about Anthony Richardson was nowhere near as good as those guys in college. Now, I'll stop it here. He could probably match highlight play for highlight play if you said,
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
If you said, hey, let's get Jaden Daniels' best 6 highlights at LSU, and let's get Anthony Richardson's best 6 highlights at Florida. I think you could match guys like that in college, but nowhere near the long run was he anywhere near those guys. I think you're right. I think you're dead right about that.
No, he doesn't. You can, and honestly, you can only match highlight for highlight up to a point, because Jaden Daniels has so many more.
You're right.
And against the Florida Gators.
I know.
Oh my gosh, he killed us.
How about that?
He was unbelievable.
How about that night game in Baton Rouge where Florida busted their ass to score with LSU, and LSU would get the kickoff from Florida, and Jaden Daniels he had that one scramble 80-yard touchdown run. He ran away from everybody on the defense, all the secondary guys.
I know, man. He's so, and he also amazing about him. And I even see this with Cam Ward. Those guys have a feel for when to go down and to not get hit.
They really do. They really do.
They don't have that Cam Newton mindset of, oh, I'm gonna sneak and hit this guy.
Nope.
He's gonna think I'm going out of bounds, but they're like, no, I'm not. I'm not playing with that. That's dumb.
Let me tell you who else has that, and I'm going to start with a position group that has that, and then we can pick off individual players in the position group. You know who else has that? The really good longevity running backs in the NFL. Emmitt Smith knew when to go down. Walter Payton knew when to go down. Get what you can. The really good ones got what they could at the end of a run. And could they have put their head down and blasted for another 2? Yeah. But a lot of times they were getting out of the run, almost like a surfer getting off the wave, right? They were getting out of the run after they've gained 6 or 8 yards. And they're like, for the longevity and for my team, it's not worth it to just plow ahead for another, for an 8.5-yard gain instead of a 6-yard gain. The really good backs have that. They really do. They have that knack. You see that with receivers too. You see that with wide receivers. You could put a highlight tape together of Jerry Rice making 1,000,000 catches, the greatest receiver in the history of the NFL. Some people say the best player in the NFL. You could make a highlight tape of Jerry Rice in that San Francisco gold and red uniform looking so good. He would make catches, make huge gains, and the good receivers, they dive at the ground. They don't want to get racked up by it. They don't want to get racked up by a safety and a cornerback or a linebacker dropping. They go down, man.
The safeties have such a. It's almost like the safeties have the opportunity in their position to see the play before it happens.
Really do.
To an extent. And guys, I mean, there's plenty of safeties we could look up and look at history.
Yeah.
That they go, they're not. I'm going for the ball guys. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
They say, oh, I got the timing to light this guy up. And I wanted to ask you this, Terry, because I was thinking about it last night.
Okay.
Don't you think that maybe the Colts could have took a gamble and grabbed Trey Lance?
Maybe.
I mean, at this point, Trey Lance is young. He actually did win some games.
Yeah.
In his super short stint in San Fran. Trey Lance is not going to play in Dallas as long as Dak is healthy.
Yeah.
And shoot, what do you got to lose? You can get him for super cheap. He had just as much upside and potential as Anthony Richardson did coming out of college, but he went to Green Bay, some super small school.
Yeah.
I just thought, I'm like, gosh, Daniel Jones, really?
I was going to say, so you're saying
Daniel Jones is not a runner.
You're saying as insurance really to Daniel Jones not being the guy if you have to turn to Daniel Jones. Trey Lance is better than yeah.
Oh, about the or at least he's probably you got a guy like Anthony Richardson. You're having in your scheme designed runs. If there's somewhere in their scheme there's designed runs for whether there's reads or whatever. Daniel Jones is not doing that.
No.
At least you got a guy in Trey Lance that's he's unproven. I don't think the Colts think they're making the playoffs. Let's be realistic. I don't think the Colts think they're winning more than 6 games this year. What do they have to lose?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Or even better, an even better one that I just came to mind, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
If Hendon Hooker didn't get hurt at Tennessee, I think he would have been a 1st or 2nd round draft pick.
I agree. Like
Hendon, he's competing for that 2nd string spot, and I don't blame him in the sense of like, hey, at least you're going to be at a winning organization. But shoot, take a risk on that guy.
Yeah.
And take him from the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know we point this out this time of year every year. We point this out. You just plug the names in. But, man, it was a carnage day yesterday in the NFL. Man, you see where the big tackle for the Chargers out for the year. Totally out for the year. C.J. Gardner-Johnson looks like he's out for the year. Anthony Richardson looks like he's back. Yeah, a lot of carnage. It happens every year. You get this many guys on a practice field over 3 weeks, and we talk about it during the season. Your practices are basically walkthroughs, man. Right? You're done. The reason you have so many August injuries is every roster is still at 90. So you got 32 teams with 90 players, and when they go out on the field, all 90 are engaged for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So you got a lot. You got a lot of big. Now, once they start making cuts, 3 weeks from now, you'll have 53-man roster, and they will be weaning down. They all won't be going as hard. Everything's will be kind of in place. Your starters. But Patrick, man, you got 90 guys right now, hot, tired, but they're all doing something in their respective drills. And you hate it. It's a scary time for football teams right now. The next couple weeks, scary time, man.
Scary. I mean, and the Ravens had a cornerback that they took in, I think, the second round, or that he's out for the year. And none of these plays are plays that wouldn't happen in a real game that actually mattered. It's not; these aren't freak. In the sense of something out of the ordinary happened. It's like going back to Anthony Richardson and talking about DNA. If there's anything that's wrong in him, he plays football. Yeah. Is there a chance that maybe he hasn't healed well from those injuries or whatever in this conversations? Maybe. That's a whole nother argument. Yeah, maybe, but these guys are out there playing football. If we knew it had a solution of preventing injuries, we would been there already. And it sucks so much. Twofold. For one, for the good teams that think they have a really good chance. But at least they have more than likely their second string is not as much of a drop off. But for the Jags, Eric Armstead, Anton Harrison coming out of college with a labral issue, Tyler Walker Little, DeVar Hamilton, he had an infection in his back, which is pretty wild. To think about that, this dude almost died. I know all about infections. Yeah. It's like you look at the Jags and it's like, man, this thing ain't even starting on the right foot, Terry. Yeah. They can't risk injuries out there Saturday.
No, they really can't. And you know what? Let's transition and keep it here for a while. Let's transition into tomorrow's preseason game. Jaguars hosting the Steelers. I want to thank Liam Cohen. And I also want to thank Mike Tomlin to a degree because both coaches, this week, but yesterday or so, I think both coaches' philosophies now have made tomorrow's game much more interesting than a standard fake football game. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's why. I always want to caution fans. In preseason football, do not think about the scoreboard. The scoreboard is fake, okay? You may have a drive where your starting defense faces my starting offense, but you pull your defense off after 5 plays. And my offense faces your 2, right? And they go into score. Forget the scoreboard. I think tomorrow, the way the coaches are approaching tomorrow's game, regardless of what the scoreboard says, we need to watch with our eyeballs, particularly the first half. The Jaguars need to look like the better overall team. And let me explain why, Patrick. I don't know if you've heard. Liam Cohen has basically said not how much, but all of his starters are going to play. Now, that may mean the projected starting offensive line may play 5 snaps or 6 snaps. But he's come out and said all starters are going to play. Okay? Conversely, on the other side, it's already been reported that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, they're holding almost all of their starters out. You're guys like Rodgers and Metcalf, J.J. Watt, Jalen Ramsey, Hayward, Jonnu Smith, Freiermuth, both tight ends, Joey Porter, Slay. Where I'm going with this, Patrick, if Sunday morning we wake up and we look back at Saturday's game, we go, damn, the Jaguars didn't really do a whole lot. The Steelers probably won the day. The Steelers are not playing anybody tomorrow. The Jaguars, and I know it's a new group for the Jaguars and all, but they better at least hold their own, or I mean, they're going to be playing a lot of second and third string against a lot of second and third string guys. Does that make any sense, Pat? I think it just ratcheted the game up tomorrow.
I think so, and there's a few things to look at. One is there's guys that are fighting so hard to win their spot to make the roster. So you should, even late third quarter, fourth quarter, we should be seeing those guys that are fighting to stay on the depth chart, a high level of energy, high level of effort from those guys. And and listening to a lot of other stations on what they're talking about with the game, I just came down to say this: look, you can't expect anything to change if you don't try to change the way that you're doing it.
Gotcha.
So yes, is there a risk? Absolutely. But what do we have to lose the whole season? Team not going to be that good anyway.
Yeah.
But if this can give any glance or glimmer or for a different result, I think this is a risk worth taking because, this regime, there's so much that they're trying to get done. Nothing changes if you change nothing. Yeah. If they just lather, rinse, and repeat everything that was done previously, why would we expect anything to change? But to your point, that goes into what you said nonstop, Terry. Nothing changed with the offensive line.
No. Not much.
Nothing changed, or the D line. Nothing really changed there. So
not much.
Let's that they didn't do well on that spot. That's for sure.
No. Another area tomorrow that needs work, and I mean this.
What?
I think it's easier than just a technicality. You just plug and play. Keep in mind, the head coach, who basically is the coordinator, offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. Those are your three biggest. These guys need to practice and work together. If Liam Cohen is going to literally try and be hands-on, call plays, help call plays, veto plays, this staff needs to work together. That right. and learn. Maybe a guy talks too much. Maybe Liam Cohen goes, "Hey, you got to lay out the first 10 seconds here. I want to get what I want to get out on the headset." No, you know what I mean? This staff, I think, needs to get some reps among themselves in live. Right. You've got 30 seconds to get this blankety blank play in. I think they need some work. They're all new at their jobs.
But that's that, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I didn't even think about that, Terry. That's the argument in terms of keeping preseason games, or at least the argument of having more team scrimmages, because I didn't even think about that game flow. Yeah. And as Liam Cohen's the head man in charge when he's down there. He's got to get a feel for how he's gonna, and he's got to be able to say and coaches not take things personally. Hey man, I need you to lay out. I need you to stop talking at this point. Hey, or whatever. You got to figure that part out.
I mean, Patrick, think about, and don't name any names, but think about the play-by-play guys you've worked with. You've been broadcasting a long time now. You're pushing 10 years of broadcasting. I mean, there are times you get stuck with a guy, first time with a guy, and he talks longer between plays than and it's an awkward broadcast until you get used to it, right?
I'm not afraid to say this because he's a big boy, but Peter Burns, man, with the SEC Network, there were times where he's improved at this, but he's the host. Mm-hmm. He's the one that technically is the one creating the environment and setting us up with such a short amount of time. Like at halftime, we got 2 minutes to talk between all the commercials.
Yeah.
And there'd be times, I mean, he would take a minute to set up what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think we figured out I didn't confront him or anything, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, people want to hear from the analysts.
You're killing me.
Like, people want to hear from the analysts, and there's let alone if there's two analysts. Terry.
And the viewer is sitting there going, "Why is the analyst even on the set if he's not talking?"
Yeah.
Why is he on? I got a great. I didn't do it wrong, but I got great advice years ago doing play-by-play. I had a veteran buddy of mine, and we got talking about skills and trying to be good, and we got talking about play-by-play or the host role, either the play-by-play or the host role. And he said, Terry, one thing some hosts I don't think ever got drilled at was do not answer your analyst the question you're going to ask your analyst. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than the host going, well, Patrick, it looked like Florida should have gone 2-3 at this point instead of man-to-man because they couldn't get the cutter, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that right? And I throw it to you. Yeah. Well, I just said your answer. You know, I mean,
you're literally.
What are you supposed to say? You know?
You're literally giving me a yes or no question, and that is actually one thing. That's actually one thing that they harp on us about.
Yeah.
With player and coach interviews, in terms of the questions we ask, of like make sure we're not asking questions where they can just be like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
No,
I tell you,
not
man,
what happened.
I'll go home.
You know,
I'll go home and watch national TV, not just sports either. I'll watch national shows, and I'll go home and I'll watch, without naming any names, some big boys that make a lot of money for hosting and interviewing. And I'll watch and, okay, I'll name one name. I like the guy, but he's so wordy, and he's known for answering the questions before he throws it to the analyst, is Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity will come on and say, I've got Patric Young. He's the Department of Defense leader, and we're going to talk about what's going on in Iran. And Patrick, don't you think blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he will have answered and eaten up all your time. You know?
I know. Yeah, you know, and honestly, I remember, and I'm just using this as an example because I think all these networks do this. I remember with 60 Minutes, there was a clip of showing how the way they worded their questions.
Yeah.
It was always like they were just trying to get that person to confirm what they were already saying, their opinion.
Is that right?
And I'm like, that's so ingenuine. As a host at anything.
Wow. We may have lost Pat. He may pop back up here real quick, but yeah, go ahead, Pat. Finish your thought. I think I heard him.
My dad called me, and I told him on my show, so I don't know why he called me back.
Okay.
When somebody calls, it takes your audio out. You just gotta redo it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, I just think it's so ingenuine. Like, as a host, if you're on a talk show where you have that, there is a time for you to give your opinion. But at first, I know what I know, Terry.
Yes.
I need to know what you know.
Good point.
Let me just lay out the
really
facts. Let me just lay out the facts, and then you tell me stuff that I don't even know.
Really good point. Really, really good point. I guess what we're saying is not to pat you on the back or myself on the back, but there's a little more to this than just, hey, is the microphone on? Is the camera on? Let's go. You know, it's
right.
It's a profession, and you need to get your at bat.
I'm actually trying to do I've become a little bit more aware of this, piggybacking on that thing of I know what I know.
Nice.
Like, instead of, because sometimes you want to ask somebody a question and tell them, hey, Terry, what do you think about this? I think blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? I know what I think. Let me hear what they're going to say first.
Yeah.
Because they might say something that's completely out of left field that's untainted by what I just said.
Yes.
Because, again, I already know what my opinion and thoughts are. So let me get someone else's full, untouched opinion on whatever.
I like it. Hey, that is a great, I know what I know. That's a great saying. I'm going to bring up something. We'll go to break in a moment. I'm going to bring up something. I remember I said it on the show a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to say it again. And this was an epiphany I had about a year ago. And I don't always remember. I'm trying to remember as I'm out and about. But I'm like you, Pat. I get a lot of people ask me about teams or games. A lot of people will, hey, Terry, what's going on? Hey, how are the Gators going to do? Hey, Terry, what's going on? Hey, and just out and about at the grocery store, at the wherever. Hey, Terry, what do you think of Thomas Castellano at FSU? Is he going to be any good? Hey, Terry, are the Jaguars going to be any good? So I'm like you. You probably get that a lot as well. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I don't know why, I had an epiphany, and it hit me, and I go, Terry, almost every one of those people that ask me, they'll go, Terry, what do you think the Gators are going to do this year in football? My epiphany, and it's right, I think, is they really want to tell me what they think.
Yeah.
So I used to immediately, when they said, Terry, what do you think the Gators are going to do? I used to do this, Patrick. I used to go, well, I'm thinking, in the 8-4 range, I'm a little concerned with this, a little concerned with that. You know what I do now, if I remember it? Instead of me doing that first, and then they shoot back with, no, here's what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. I go, what do you think?
Yeah.
I turn it on. I go, I let them say, because they really want to tell me what they think anyway. It's almost like they're not really even hearing me. So
I think
what
it's people's way of trying to just talk about something they're excited about, because
maybe
this real life example, like for you and for me, the Florida Gators won the championship.
Yeah.
Like I've seen, I've heard, I've watched everything already. Right? We all did it together.
Yes.
And to an extent.
Yes.
I've talked about it ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And I think because people they just want to have somebody else to talk about it with, to be excited with.
You're right.
I think that might be
I think you're right.
People congratulate me. They say, Pat, hey man, congratulations on winning a national championship. I'm like, yeah man, I didn't really have anything to do with it, but it was fun to watch.
That is so funny. But yeah, I've gotten to where, and I do it with a smile on my face, and I'm cordial. And I will, after they say what they think, I'll say, well, what do you think? And they're excited, man. They'll and then I go, okay,
there's no need to be a jerk about it, but it's
But I
think it's almost always people either they want to commiserate with you, or they want to share the joy of.
But I finally, I don't know why I woke up about a year ago and I went, wait a minute, Terry. When that guy asked me out in the public, he really just wants to tell me what he thinks. So just ask him, well, what do you think? It's fun, man. It's fun.
That's great. That's fantastic. Absolutely.
It is a lot of fun. All right, Pat, let's take a break, man. You probably got some stuff to get into. We got Major League Baseball. We'll have Brent Beard. College football, some stuff. I've got some fun Friday, this date in sports history.
I got a good one.
Okay, we'll come.
Good one for you guys on the other side.
All right, keep it on deck. Keep it on deck. He's Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. We're cruising through a fun Friday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
All right, those footballs will be in play tomorrow at the stadium. Might be some rain tomorrow, I think, in and around that game. Pat, are you hearing? Have you looked at the weekend? I think we got a wet weekend coming up.
I'm sure it's going to be a wet weekend.
Yeah, to cool it off a little bit, but I think it's going to be wet. And
and Terry, I think you're right. I think when you said the heat was breaking, I think you were onto something.
Yeah, I think we've hit the hottest part, and we're on the downside. I'm not going to say we're not going to have a bunch of 90-degree days the rest of the way, because we are. But, hey, speaking of, I was walking my dog, not walking my dog, but took her out last night, like I always do. Walked out in the backyard with her for a little bit, and you saw way in the distance lightning. And I remember I looked this up one time, and I re-looked it up a minute ago. Have you ever heard of the term, that's heat lightning? That's heat lightning. You ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there's an old term, heat lightning. And, there is no such thing as there's either lightning or not lightning. People would say when you see lightning in the distance, but you don't hear the thunder, they'd say, oh, that's heat lightning. That means something. No, that just means the lightning's way away, and the sound dissipates because it's 15 miles away. There is no such thing as heat lightning. Just thought I'd clear that up for you.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate educating me on something I've never heard of.
I'm the chief, Terry Norvelle, the chief. Has anybody used that moniker? Has anybody used that moniker around weather, the chief? I better not use that.
No, I don't think there's anybody. It'd be kind of weird to use an Indian. It might be a little offensive to use an Indian term, Native American term in weather. Yeah. Who knows?
Hey, what'd you have, man? You had something to carry over during the break.
I got a good one. First one. Two, they're both tied into the same thing, but this first one's pretty funny. Girlfriend is recording her boyfriend, and she asked him this. He's a football fan. She asked him this. She said, "Hey, if the last 30 years showed that it was going to snow in Alaska, how much money, like the data showed that the last 30 years, it snowed in Alaska. How much money would you bet for it to happen again next year? What do you think, Terry? How much money would you bet if you had 30 years of data?
Casey, did you follow that at all, or is it just me? Hold on a second.
Just be simple with me right here.
Casey, did you follow that at all?
No.
Okay. Can you run that by the two guys that have
if it snowed in Alaska,
the girlfriend
last
said
30 years, let's see, 2024 and back, how much money would you gamble or put on for it to snow this upcoming year in Alaska?
So it's
or would you even take the gamble? Would you take the bet?
So you're saying it has been 30 for 30 snowing over the last 30 years.
Yep.
How much money would we bet that this upcoming year it would snow anywhere in the province of Alaska?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Casey?
You don't have to say would you take the bet? Would you take the bet? The money doesn't matter. Would you take the bet?
Casey, I would. Would you?
I mean, the way he's phrasing the question, I would not, because there's got to be a gimmick.
Yeah.
No. You're right. You should still take the bet. And then the girlfriend, she says, well, the last 30 years, there's data of the Cowboys sucking.
Oh,
why do you say next year this is going to be the year every year? Oh, my God.
Oh, my. For the love of Jerry Jones.
Oh, my God.
He got me, Casey. He didn't get you. He got me.
This poor guy, he had nothing to say.
And I'm assuming that's now ex-girlfriend, right? Ex-girlfriend.
More than likely. I mean, she hit his soul. And then, the second one is a lot more serious. And this is something that we probably feared would happen in the NFL and in the NBA at these major organizations, because gambling has now become legal almost everywhere.
Unbelievable.
Malik Beasley.
No.
He is now being fully probed for gambling on NBA games. And I don't know if you saw the article on ESPN, but Terry, it's awful.
Yeah.
He just what came up here recently, he owes over $20,000 on his apartment in Detroit. Got evicted. He owes well over $650,000 to his agent on an advance. He owes a dentist money. He owes a barber money.
Oh.
And he is in Europe, probably trying to find a way to never come back to America.
Wow. Well, when this gambling thing hit hard here in our country, and when I say hit hard, gambling around sports, stuff and sports that we follow, when it really hit a couple years ago, and it's here to stay, it's not going to go anywhere. I think we all agree.
Right.
I'm not a gambler much, nor are you. Not that I put a lot of thought process into it, but I always thought, okay, with gambling, the first fear is the games are fixed, right? And my lack of gambling knowledge, when I thought a couple years ago, okay, the games are fixed, okay, that's a couple teammates on each team getting together and saying, hey, this night you're supposed to win, so at the end of the game we're going to make sure you win. I always thought that was the way most of it. The way that a lot of it gets done, and it gets popped too, is the individual getting some people to bet on himself to have a bad game, because it's easier if I'm playing. No, Pat, if you are playing a game and I go to you and I say, Pat, I want to put $100,000 on you, your performance tonight, your individual performance. If I say, Pat, it's riskier if I say, Pat, you need to score 25 or more, versus, Pat, I need you to score no more than 6. It's easier to manipulate it where you don't score, right? And that's how a lot of these guys get caught.
Absolutely.
Isn't that weird? I've never thought of that. Yeah. They'll say.
Well, I guess the good thing is that these leagues have tried to police it with having the ability to see some oddities. And honestly, though,
yes,
I think the system, if you're patient enough to do this over a 5-10 year period, I think you could get away doing it once. do it once or twice a year. You know, sadly to say, I think an NBA player, if they just had the mindset, we're going to be extremely slow, extremely patient. Like, we're not going to make this seem, and like, all of a sudden, there's just been some odd betting in this month for this player to show a clear pattern. Yeah, I'm not saying in any way to do that, but I think it's still it's a possibility. Shoot, it could be happening now, but they're doing it so well, we just have no idea.
I agree. Some of the articles I've read when people get busted for underperforming. Let's use that word, underperforming, right? It has stood out. When you read the article, it'll stand. It would be like you, Pat. My guess, without having your Florida numbers and your European numbers in front of me, my guess would be, Patric Young, that you had a pretty high field goal percentage at Florida because you took shots close to the basket. Number one, you didn't take a volume of shots. You weren't the number one scorer, and you took shots close. Well, you'll see these guys that get busted with their buddies making underperforming bets, and all of a sudden you'll have like a Malik Beasley, and he will have been in the league 8 years, and he will have shot, 49.5%, pretty decent, 52%, right? And over the first 7 years, he's never had 3 games in a row where he shot 5 for 24, but all of a sudden, out of the blue, he has 3 games in a row where he shot 5 for 24. Right. Well, like you said, they have these almost computer apps now that look for those things and go, wait a minute, this sticks out like a sore thumb. We better look into this. This guy never shot that bad. And they think they're going to beat. Yeah. They think they're going to beat Vegas, for God's sakes.
I know, right? Yeah, it's and I just think there's just so much at risk for these guys to lose. Even the people that aren't professional athletes, like the friend of the guy or whatever. Yeah. I mean, the jail time and the felony and all this stuff. I mean, you ruin your life. Yeah. You got you're better off just go to Vegas and play the casino games. That way, you don't have to. It's a way you can. You're not going to get caught. I mean, shoot, some people know how to cheat. Yeah. Some people know how to cheat well, but I think you have a much better chance, safer, of not ruining your life. I mean, if you have to gamble. You
think about it. Legalized gambling on American sports is about what? Across the board, it's about 5 years old. Hardcore, about 5 years old. Probably. I'm guessing, but 5 years old. So the players that are in the middle of this. And the hanger-ons that you just said, the buddies, the uncles, the backslappers. So you're telling me the 27-year-old player in the middle of this, all of a sudden, is 5 years old, and his group of hanger-on buddy uncles, do they really think they're going to outwit Las Vegas and the feds, right? The feds have been chasing gambling in sports since the 1800s, for God's sake.
Yep.
And do you think they're going to outwit the feds and the Vegas boys?
When you break, these guys aren't thinking that, man. Like they're not sitting down saying, I don't know, let's weigh the risk of what can happen if we get caught doing this. Yeah. I think they just get blinded by, you can win a lot of money fast. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there's something about these guys feel like, man, it's a high to think I control this. I'm controlling. What a high! I'm controlling this. It's how many times? It's a sure thing. It's a sure thing. I'm controlling this. I'm controlling. Pat, real quick, as we're wrapping up hour number 1 here, got a few minutes before the top of the hour. Do you have a list or just one or two things that I've got one right out of the gate that I'd like to see kind of start working itself out tomorrow in this exhibition game with the Jaguars and the Steelers. And I don't have a dog enough. I don't care really which way. I'm just ready for either Bigsby or ETN
or ETN to grab a hold of the running back position. It's time the Jaguars have a 1. Not a 1A, 1B, not a 1A, 1B, and maybe a rookie. And I don't know if you can win it all the way tomorrow, but somebody needs to grab the running back position for the Jaguars.
I think Tank's going to beat Travis, man.
Might be.
I think Tank's going to he's and both of these guys have been, 5-star recruits and the number 1 guys all the time.
Yeah.
I just think the style of running and ETN, he's really got that nice, like, wiry kind of, like, you think you got him at 2 yards of a gain and he's able to get 2 extra, some crazy kind of way. Like, it doesn't make sense. But Tank Bigsby, I think he's primed for it because this year 3 for him, he understands that the opportunity is right in front of him.
Yeah.
Travis, ETN isn't like eons ahead of him. It's not like he's going up against Saquon Barkley. I think the competition is equal, and whoever plays better here, they absolutely deserve. And look, ETN will still get to play, or Bigsby is still going to play. But yeah, I think you got to let them know one of these guys is the alpha.
Yes, at some point you really, and I get it. The NFL is made up unless you got Saquon Barkley and or big boy Derek. What's his name? Big boy from Yulee. Big boy from Yulee, help me. Derek, the Alabama running back. Anybody help? Derek
Henry.
Derek Henry, yeah.
Which guy?
Yeah, unless you've got Derek Henry or Saquon Barkley, I get it. You really are going to use 2 running backs in the NFL, but most teams do have a 1A. They have a 1A and then they bring in another guy. The Jaguars need a 1A. They need one of these guys to be. When you mentioned the 2 ETN brothers, and this just kind of hit me, but both ETNs, obviously the older ETN here, his career was at Clemson. And then his brother goes to Florida, remember, and then obviously Georgia. And to me, it's kind of weird. Both ETN brothers, to me, their college career, they were as good as they were going to get year 1. I thought they were both going to get better and better and better. I think both ETN boys burst on the scene, and I think they were the same guy when they left college that they are when they started college. Am I wrong about that? Oh, losing Pat a little bit. Casey, jump in if you've got a thought on that. I think the ETN, the older ETN who went to Clemson, he was great as a freshman, and he had a good, solid career. He never got crazy good like I thought. You could say the same thing about his little brother. He goes to Florida. He's this quick, slippery guy, and okay, year 2 at Florida. He goes to Georgia, was just a guy. I don't know what it is about the 2. They both seem to be as good as they were ever going to get once they got to college.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to do that to Travis Etienne.
Fair enough.
Trevor Etienne is a guy. Travis Etienne is an impactful player in the NFL.
I got you.
When Trevor Etienne's not going to do that.
I got you. And the younger one, he's still obviously, out for discussion. But man, I thought, and which one's the older one? I always mix up their names.
Travis.
Travis from Clemson.
Correct.
Yeah, I thought, man, he burst onto the scene, and I remember the name. He was a big recruit, and he was really good at Clemson. I just thought he was going to keep getting better and better and better and better and better and better. I didn't think he was going to be fighting for a 1A job. I thought he was a 1A guy, but he never seemed to take that next step to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm hard on running backs. Maybe I'm a little hard on running backs. But do you agree? I would really like to see here in the next couple of weeks, and obviously the Jaguars as well, one of these guys to grab that job, right? Is this the third year or second year? The second year, I guess. Is this Bigsby's second or third year?
Third, yeah.
Okay, well, this will be the third year they've kind of volleyballed, right? The position.
I mean, his first year he didn't do anything.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't the ETN miss a whole year too here?
Well, yeah, but that was his first year.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was his first year. So yeah, but point I'm making, they haven't exactly overlapped for 3 full years, and nobody's taken it. But I want one of these guys to take the job. Not saying the other guy can't stay on the team and contribute, but one of these guys needs to grab that damn job. That wouldn't be bad to happen after the 3rd game this preseason. Now, you can't get the job and fumble into the end zone game 1 either. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. All right, Pat, let's take another break here. We're starting to wrap up hour number 1. If you've got a couple things, Pat, we'll talk some Major League Baseball on the other side. College football, Brent will have some stuff to get to. And also, man, would I love to be at Citi Field. Isn't that where the Mets play? Where are the Mets play now? Citi Field? Formerly Shea Stadium. It should be a fun time all weekend. And I don't even mean on the baseball field. We'll tell you what's going on at the new park for the Mets as they take it old school. That and a whole lot more. Hour 2 kicking off on the other side. The Young and Norvelle Show continues after this timeout.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker's Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam For we know our place is out. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. That's a shot of the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. They know how to party in Atlanta, but they know what they're doing when it comes to throwing a little party in New York City. Welcome back, Terry Norvelle. Patric Young, I think, still with us. Pat, you there? Still there? Check in with Pat. I hope he's still there. I want him to hear this story. We'll talk, I hope, with Brent Beard somewhere here in the second hour on some college football. We got some Major League Baseball to get to, a couple other topics as well. This is just kind of a miscellaneous topic coming up. But coming up 1 week from today, August 15th. Man, I would like to be at this little party they're going to throw. The New York Mets will honor the 60th anniversary of the Beatles' live concert performance in Shea Stadium 60 years ago. Next Friday, the Mariners will be in town. Big series, two good teams. The 1965 performance was a milestone because the Beatles became the first rock band to perform a major stadium concert. And Casey, that surprised me a little bit. Obviously, big stadiums have been around a long time. This was back in 65, but big stadiums have been around a long time. And big rock groups have been around a long time. Surprised me. The first major stadium outdoor concert was the Beatles playing at Shea Stadium in 1965. Does that surprise you?
Not really.
Surprised me a little bit. I thought somebody, I don't know.
I mean, who was super famous before the Beatles?
Around that time, Elvis was big. Yeah, you make a good point in terms of groups. Right? I mean, You had, Little Richard, and you had different, Liberace was big, different type of music. Big band was big back in that. Remember that, Glenn Miller and things like that, way back, 30s and 40s. But I guess you do make a good point. We didn't have the big rock band and the international world tours.
Right.
I mean, Zeppelin.
And they themselves were international.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you think about, the Beatles are the Beatles, and they're a class of their own. I think most historians would say that. But you think of the other just mega international acts, groups, rock groups, big groups. They came after. Led Zeppelin. The Stones hadn't popped yet. The Who, and then we get in the 70s and the 80s, and the rock band got huge, AC/DC, but yeah, you make a good point. There weren't really that many massive groups that really could have. And I guess the worst thing is, Casey, put together a big stadium tour and only sell out 25% of the seats.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well.
Yeah, not good. How about that, Pat? Did you hear that story?
No, I missed it.
A big deal coming up next Friday, 1 week from today, in Citi Field where the Mets play. The Mets will honor the 60th anniversary of the Beatles playing the first ever major stadium concert when they played a concert at Shea Stadium. By the way, next Friday they'll do it. They're going to honor it. Obviously, they'll have nothing but Beatle music played all night, and you got to believe people are going to dress up in the 60s theme, right? That'd be fun to go to, wouldn't it? Be a lot of fun.
I'm not a big, but yeah, if you're into that, absolutely, that'd be a blast.
Well, if you and I would go on the flight up, I could learn you some culture.
Okay,
I could educate you some.
I would have to get.
But if you've ever heard, there are documentaries. I've watched many documentaries on this. It was a madhouse, absolute mad. They played basically. They put the little stage they set up was basically at second base because it was Shea Stadium. It was Shea Stadium, and that's where the Mets played, right? And it was in August of '65, and probably, they just crammed and nothing but screaming girls. And the Beatles have said many times they literally could not hear. They were just hoping they were playing the songs right because of the just unstoppable screaming of the girls. And if you watch the documentary, the live documentary, and this was many concerts that the Beatles had, but this was a big deal. Outside, hot, summertime, August of '65. I mean, there are many shots where New York's finest, they're carrying teenage girls passed out. They just were so delirious and they just passed out. Just passed out.
Well, I don't know about you, but have you ever been like so amped that you're like yelling and screaming or whatever, and then you get a little lightheaded?
Yeah, you see a little. Yes.
Yeah. That's probably what they were doing ad nauseum.
Yeah. I agree. That'd be fun to go to next Friday, though. It'd be a lot of fun. I bet you got to believe all the walk-up songs will be Beatles songs and
even for the Spanish players.
Good call. Good call. Beatles in Spanish.
I don't know.
Okay, the celebration next Friday begins with a performance by the 1964 The Tribute in front of a Shea Stadium bridge at 6:15. So they'll have a tribute band. First 15,000 fans to enter Citi Field will receive an exclusive Shea Stadium replica. Celebrations continue through the night. The first pitch will be thrown by members of the game day staff. Wow, how about this? The game day staff who actually worked the famous concert in '65.
Oh, wow.
So they're 70-something probably, 75. Wow. Yeah, must have been teenagers back then.
No, that's cool.
That is cool. After the game, fans can stay put for a special themed fireworks show. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. And, boy, the Mets, they're, speaking of baseball, boy, the Mets and the Phillies, boy, they've been locked up in a fun race all year, man. I looked it up today, Pat. 8 weekends left in Major League Baseball, so this thing's starting to get 8 weekends.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, so if you're chasing somebody down, you better start chasing. Hey, what's your shirt you got on there? What do we got there?
Oh, this is the Rep the Ride shirt, the one I need to get you one of these.
Back up.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I like. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
This is more workout material. So when you,
I need that in a long sleeve, please. A white long sleeve. I'll take one of those, please.
In a long sleeve.
That's nice.
We'll probably maybe in the golf tournament we'll do some long sleeve, but
is that a new design? Is that a new design?
Yeah. I worked with a marketing team here in Jacksonville. They're pretty good, and
that's sharp.
They came up with the name, got to put on the shirt, and because the event was hosted at my buddy's gym, Excel Performance, so we got him on the sleeve. And then PY Foundation on the other sleeve. So because sometimes like that stuff gets a little too cluttered, and I thought
I agree.
This is the perfect way to represent.
Yeah, I've done a lot of runs over the years, and runs are famous, and I get it. You want to take care of your sponsors. I totally get that. But your runs will have like 25 sponsors on the back, and it just makes the shirt look tacky,
It does. You're absolutely right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It makes the shirt look tacky. Hey,
man, I got a little fridge in my room. I wish I had some cold beers in here, but I don't.
No, Patrick, no. What do you mean?
I wish I had some cold beers in my fridge.
You're not driving, so you're okay.
I'm home.
Yeah, you're home. That's fine.
I'm drinking Aspire Healthy Energy. It's got 80 It's not like Celsius. It's only got 80 milligrams.
It goes with your shirt. Perfect.
Yeah, it does actually go with the shirt. I did that on purpose.
What's the commercial? I don't think the words expire. There's an old lady and she says expire. Or expire. What is that?
It was some type of home insurance.
What words?
Yeah, we love our new house, but we have ants. And you're like, are they talking about the insects? And no, they meant like Aunt Jenny that's in the fridge, and she's like expired.
Oh,
expired.
No, I know what it is now. It's isn't it that commercial where the young couple bought a big house and the aunt comes over and thinks it's maybe too much house for you?
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
And she's going through the refrigerator. Expired.
Yeah.
Expired. Are you I hate to say this because I'm kind of always been down on NFL preseason football. Kind of excited for tomorrow's little game for the Jaguars.
Yeah. I mean, I think we probably always get at this point because a little excited. Like we're about to go every weekend up until February.
Yeah.
It's going to be football. Obviously, this football isn't the kind that we're like overly excited about, but here we go, man.
Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Casey, I'm not sure I want to catch you without being prepared. Did you have a chance, Pat? I want you to see this still photography, this still photo. This date in sports history, 1976, this was actually a baseball uniform. Look at this. They actually played, that's the Chicago White Sox playing a baseball game today. And look, you see it. That was the uniform.
That man right there's got some muscular legs, man.
No doubt. But how bad is that? That's a Major League Baseball game. Gosh. Obviously, the Chicago White Sox and Bill Veeck, their owner, was known to be kind of different. And
Baller looks awful.
He had a thought that amazing. He had a thought by mid to late summer. It's so hot. You know what? Let's put our guys in shorts and cool them down. They actually played 3 games over like 3 days in these uniforms before, and the players hated them. Can you imagine, Patrick, you're told in the great tradition-led game of baseball. I mean, baseball goes back 175 years. Traditional baseball, and you're a professional player and your owner says, you have to wear this.
I don't have words.
How bad is that? And
I have no words for that.
And one of the main reasons the players
the players hated it, and he made them do it anyway.
And obviously it only lasts a couple games, and the pushback, and they finally said, "Hey, man, what about the sliding and the abrasions and all?" So I think that's what finally wink got.
Oh, that was what got it. He didn't think about player safety beforehand.
No, and I think wink. That's what finally got the players to get him to change his mind. But just how bad was that look, man? I remember it as a kid, and I was like, "Oh my God, these are That's not a softball beer league, my man. That's professional baseball, Major League Baseball."
I don't even know what to say about that, Terry. That looks so bad.
That's got to be your Halloween costume this coming Halloween. Dude, you got to do it, Pat.
I'll wear it. If you find it, I'll wear it. If you can help me find it, I would happily wear it.
Baseball guy, Casey Kurtz.
Are you a Halloween guy? Like no, in the past of like
no, I think it's the stupidest holiday we got.
I know, right? I think you would do a great Fred Flintstone. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I have no idea.
Me?
Why. Yeah.
I think maybe I'd be Barney better than Fred.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Barney's the handsome one, isn't he?
He's definitely more handsome than
than Fred.
Fred's nose is covers his whole face.
Casey, what about the uniforms? The White Sox uniforms. Casey.
It's pretty terrible.
Casey, pretty terrible, he said. Yeah.
Get it, man.
Oh, that's bad. That is bad stuff. All right, here's another baseball. And I remember as a youngster when this happened. I was probably 20, 21, 22. 1988. A little bit older than that, maybe. 1988. The Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field, never had lights until the late 80s.
Wow.
They played all day game. If you played a home game at Wrigley, it was a day game. They just were one of those old traditional ballparks. They never, so finally, and they got pressured. By the 80s, baseball and TV were really, really partnering up, right? And the Cubs had their own network. WGN did the Cub games, and all the home games had to be in the daytime, right? So finally, I think Major League Baseball turned the screws a little bit. Finally, the Cubs installed lights, and it was a big deal. The first Cubs game under the lights, I remember the countdown. It was a big-ass deal. Celebrities showed up. It was a big night, and everybody cooperated except one lady. You know who that was?
No.
Mother Nature. How about this? Hey, they went about 150 years, finally picked out the date. The lights were installed. They start playing on this date, 1988, and the damn game got rained out in the 4th inning.
Are you serious?
What a buzzkill that is, huh? What a buzzkill. Mother Nature. Mother Nature, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh!
Right?
You set that up pretty good. You set that up pretty good.
Pat, isn't that bad?
Oh man,
come on, Mother Nature.
I'd be pretty sad.
Goodness gracious! All right, last one. Got a major league. This date in sports history. What's the deal if you are a bank robber, a villain, a professional athlete who makes money? Why do these guys not go out and find a good tax man? Reason I bring this up, Pat. This date in history, Pete Rose was sent to a 5-month federal prison sentence, not because of throwing baseball game, but because falsifying his tax records.
Oh man!
And Al Capone, they never could pin anything on Al Capone except bad taxes. What the hell's with these tax people?
Well, it's interesting because, like, the safeguard you have in having an accountant, if they do something, it doesn't fall on you.
Yeah.
You don't have the accountant, and it's going to be, you don't have that buffer. Yeah, you got to pay for it, etc. But the IRS don't play. But the IRS, they're pretty good about working with you. If you call them, it just takes forever to do so.
I'm with you.
They're pretty good with working out payment plans if you made an honest mistake. But it just makes me think, because the IRS, they're not just going to cut your head off right away.
Yep.
They're going to give you a chance to figure it out.
Boy, I'm glad you said that, man.
Right.
I think I told this story before. I'm so glad you said that. Years ago, and number one, I've never had any money, so I don't have much money to worry about. But off and on in my adult life, I have a small business, and I currently have a small business, right? Well, over the years having small business, sometime, man, you're pinching pennies a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. Sure. You're like, man, I'm waiting on a client check, and I got to keep my lights on, and you might get a little upside down with your taxes.
Yep.
Right? You're like, I got to eat. I know I should send some to the IRS. Well, I got upside down, not a huge number. Over 5,000, less than 20. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Okay. So I got upside down and upside down and upside down. And then you start rolling extra tax burdens, and so finally, I got upside down, and I had to get in touch with the IRS. And dude, they could not have been more cordial to work with.
Yeah.
They almost let me name my terms. I swear, Pat.
There might be some interest in there.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I mean, goodness gracious, because I similar, more than 5, less than 20.
Yeah.
And they had like a 8-month payment plan that I could do. And, I ended up paying maybe $300, $400, $500 more. But instead of me having to pay it all at once, it gave me such a reprieve.
Yeah.
To say, okay, these IRS, they're not.
I'm telling you, they almost let me. I think mine was whatever my number was. They said they would take a settlement number and then bust it into payments. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know how low to go, so I was scared. I didn't want to insult them or make them mad. So I threw a number out lower than what they said, we'll take whatever you can pay. Give us a number and then we'll bust it in installments. And I went with a low number, not crazy low. Dude, they didn't negotiate. They just, okay, that's fine. And
wow.
I'm telling, and I've always heard people bash the IRS. I'm like, the one major time I've dealt with them, they couldn't have been any more cordial.
Did that end up affecting your credit at all or anything like that?
My credit's never been really good anyway. So, I
think it's a scam. Credit is a scam, bro.
My credit's very average right now, and
where you can literally have, let's say you have an instance where you had debt and you paid it off, and now you currently have no debt.
Yeah.
And you've gone a year because you've learned, you've become responsible, not taking out credit cards more. They'll see, you go for a vehicle or whatever, you need something you're going to need financing for, and they'll say, oh no, you don't have any debt. We're not going to approve you for financing. And it's like, wait. Isn't me not having debt a good thing?
Good thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the history that I've paid off debt before.
But they can turn that on you and go, well, no, we just don't see. Yeah, we don't. And then if you somehow come into money and pay big chunks to pay things off, that scares them too.
That hurts them too. Yeah.
That scares. They go, wait a minute, you're not always going to find an uncle that gives you $10,000 to pay off. So.
My business partner and I with the escape room, we have a chunk of money. Like he's trying to get me off the loan, hopefully by the end of this year. And I was just asking because it's the SBA, Small Business Association or whatever. SBA loan.
Yeah.
They won't let you pay. You can't pay in advance. So I was like, hey, is it possible? Because I've had to do a debt consolidation before, and they let you could pay some months off in front, and like you won't have another payment until December or whatever.
Yeah.
They won't let you do that. And they'll let you do a lump sum, but it's got to be like after like 70% of the loan has already been paid off.
Well, I think you'll agree. I think you'll agree with what I'm about to say. If we've got some younger people watching the show, I will say this, and I learned through the Hard Knock School, but when it comes to debt or loans and upside down and stuff, man, oh man, do yourself a favor and pick up the phone and contact them.
Yeah.
The silent treatment's never going to be good for you.
Oh,
the hideout treatment, nope. If you pick up that phone and you call that creditor, and if you shoot straight, they're probably going to work with your ass.
Yeah, more than likely they will.
Instead of, well, you know what, I'm going to bury my head in the sand and it'll go away. I don't think it's going away. Bank, if you owe someone, like not just to the credit, and they'll all work with you. Yeah,
it's when you try to run away and hide and don't want to talk to them and think the problem's going to go away. They have all of your information.
Yeah, and especially with a car. I think a car even more than a house, but a car, an automobile, obviously, while you're making payments on that car, you really don't own it. The bank owns it.
I know, right?
Right? And the last thing the banks want to do is have a massive parking lot full of repoed cars. They don't want your car physically. They want you to keep your car. So if you contact them, they'll help you, man.
I've never, Terry, you bring up an interesting point. And please tell me I'm wrong and please correct me. I can go and buy a house and, have the financing, all that stuff. Let's just say it was $500,000. Somehow I put down $100 or whatever. And I have you're not technically the homeowner.
You really are. You really are.
You're paying it off. It's like, you can get an object or something on layaway. It's obviously it's much bigger than that. That's so simple. But I'm like, my parents, they are homeowners. They've paid their loan off.
Their final payment. Yeah.
Their final payment. It is their house.
Yeah. But
I get it. I do get it in terms of when you can sell your house, if you have to
equity.
Or whatever, and you transfer the mortgage over and all that other stuff value. But still, I'm like, technically you never.
But if you break it down until that 30th year or 20th year or, whatever, until that final note is paid, the bank really owns it. The finance company that you went through technically owns that house, right?
And if you go back to what happened in 2008, and I remember that the show. What was it? The movie. Christian Bale was in it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
he was nuts because he saw it coming because they kept giving houses to people that couldn't.
Yep.
Proving people that didn't have the credit or the money, et cetera, couldn't make those payments.
And both people knew it.
Yeah.
The lenders knew it and the homeowners knew it, but they were both high on high.
I mean, I'd be so much keen to say and believe this that the reason the housing market is the way it is now, because ad nauseum you hear people complaining about house prices, and I'm like, well, what happened in 2008? We can't, like, Obama had to bail out banks. He bailed out banks that created this problem.
Absolutely.
They created the problem.
And you remember what You remember the arrogant phrase the banking industry used? They said,
No.
and I'm paraphrasing, but this is what they said to the government and to the public. They said, we're too big to fail. You need us. You need us, the lending institution, too bad. You have to bail us out. And that's basically what they said. The banking industry to the United States is too important. You have to bail us out. And they knew that. And guess what? They got bailed out.
They got bailed out. What would have happened? I'm gonna look this up on chat to see if what likely would have happened if the banks didn't get bailed out. What would have happened? I'm so curious.
I don't know. Hey, non-sports, but I want you to, if you don't mind, explain. I never knew exactly what is an escape room, and I know that was a business or is a business that it's an activity. What is an escape room business?
It's an experience.
Yeah, talk about it real quick.
Yeah, escape rooms are pretty awesome. They're pretty niche. I think they were really affected during 2020 because it's more of a luxury. It's not a necessity. It's kind of there's so many things people can do for fun that escape rooms at that time were kind of cut out of 2020. And yeah, the crazy thing is, man, like the one I have here in Jacksonville, we did the lease and the loan a month before COVID shut down everything. And what's pretty actually incredible, my partner and I, we just said, F it, it's all on us. And like more so him than me, learned how to make them by himself. Like this is not just getting a contractor to make a house. It's touching a sequence of buttons that opens a door, that a padlock, a code. Like the first thing you gotta let people know, you're never locked in the room, and it's actually you're not allowed to lock people in. What's so amazing about it? You have to be present. You have to communicate. No cell phones. So if you have a group that you're with, you have to learn how to be a team and speak on behalf of what you observe. It kind of ruins people's experiences when there's like an alpha that's just taking over the game, and not unless it's like that alpha is a person that's done a lot of escape rooms and everyone else is a novice. I've seen it all, Terry.
Yeah.
It's almost like a science project.
So
where the room is the control, Terry. The room is the control. Nothing changes. But the groups of people that we game master, and I don't want to be cynical here, but I learned that there is a lot of people that have given up on learning, on giving up on like that is not part of their life. Their education probably stopped at 8th grade, 9th grade, and goodness gracious, it was a little sad when you see that. It was a little sad.
Well, let me ask you this, because I don't really know. So you go in and you're trying to get out. You got to figure out how to get out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. This is actually a good story. The game, the reason I got hooked. I was in Greece actually. So escape rooms they're national. They're global. They're everywhere.
Okay.
I was in Greece with my teammates my second year, and escape rooms were our random thing. There were a lot of them spotted around in Athens, and there was a room based on Guantanamo Bay, and in this room, man, you had to dig something out of a sink. You had to.
Are you getting clues? How do you know what to do?
Oh man, they'll give you clues if you need them, if you're stuck. But oftentimes you observe, you look around the room, you tell people what you see. They'll be writing on the wall. There'll be something kind of that guides you. Say, hey, this is what you need to go and do, dude. It was the most incredible experience. We had to think of like a Shawshank Redemption type of escape. By the time we got out, we had to crawl in this little tunnel. And when we got out, we were back in the hallway. It was incredible. And I was like, my best friend and I were like, we have to do this.
So let me ask you this.
If
it's for a group of people, is that right? It's for an activity of a group?
Yes.
So if me and a couple friends tonight went to your escape room, we paid our fee, we did the experience. Am I done ever going back to your room because I would know how to get out of your room?
Yeah, you typically don't do a repeat room. There are people that will. They will.
But I mean, do you change
No,
the room?
You don't change that room. No. You have. If
so you're never getting my business again.
No, if you're a good escape room, you have multiple rooms.
Oh, okay.
Like we have four rooms or 3 rooms, and you probably change it. You change the room out, maybe once every 2 years. It depends if the room's still making money and it's not breaking a lot, because people don't respect your things.
Yeah. So is it also, and we'll take a break. We got Brent coming on. Pat, is it also like tonight if me and a date went to, or me and Kendall, or me and a date went to the hibachi, we may get seated with people we don't know? Would you get put in that room with people you don't know? And that could be a little risky, couldn't it?
Yeah, it can be. It can affect your experience, but that's, there's a higher price you can pay for a private room. Like, as the business, it just wouldn't make sense if we didn't, especially on a Friday and a Saturday on the weekends. And what's beautiful, the more people you bring, the cheaper it is.
But I mean, if two 32-year-old women are going out for the night and say, hey, let's do that escape room thing, if I was me and another woman, I'd be scared to get put in a locked up room with strangers.
You're not locked up, no. But there's a whole you clearly put that in all the information.
I don't like it, Pat. I don't like it at all.
If you want a room where you don't have to deal with you don't try to book on the weekends. Try to book on a Wednesday at 3:00. You're more than likely.
I don't want I don't want to be locked in some room with some creep.
You're not locked.
I don't like it.
No, we are 3 times people see this. When they book, when we send the email, and when they arrive, if we see that they are intoxicated or any type that we don't think they can do the game, we will not let them in. We will not. We've refused a lot of people because of that, and they get mad. And it's like, 3 times we told you that you cannot come into our games and be obliterated. Like, dude, one guy could barely stand up, Terry, and he was so pissed.
He was trying to escape out of the bar, running out on his tab. All right, Pat. I'll allow it, but I don't think I'm ever going to do it.
You should try it. We actually have.
I don't think I want to be in there with creepy people.
There's a room called Locker Room. We have. It's a spoof on the Jaguars. So, and the Jaguars and Tom Coughlin. We call him Calm Toughlin in there. It's pretty funny.
Where's this place at?
St. John's Bluff, right by Martinez Dental. There used to be Johnny's Angels Diner. Is there?
Oh, yeah. I know where that's at. In that strip.
Yep. In that spot.
What's it called?
Prototype Escape Games.
Prototype Escape Games.
I built some stuff in there. It's pretty cool.
You built something?
I built some stuff. Look, not a lot. But
the hell do you know how to build? You don't have to build anything.
Joe, my partner Joe, he's brilliant. He taught me.
All right, let's take a break. Brent Beard's ready to get on here and make some sense out of this last half hour of a Friday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show continues after this timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
All right, let's get right back into a final segment here on a Friday. Final segment we'll have before we actually have some Jaguars stuff to talk about on Monday, as their first preseason game takes place tomorrow night down at the stadium. Patric Young, of course, here. I'm Terry Norvelle, welcoming Britt Beard. Mr. Beard, another hot one out there, buddy, but it'll cool off when they start playing college football. It'll start cooling off, buddy. I promise.
Yeah, it sure will. There's no doubt about that. I know we don't have a lot of time, and forgive my tardiness here.
You're fine, my friend.
But I will. I need to go into to some kind of newsy stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Frankly, is there is going to be there's as you guys know, there's some groups that meet on a regular basis, and this is Power 4 groups from the main conferences at this point. Kind of what they're trying to quietly do is to overhaul the calendar, narrow the transfer window, and maybe even eliminate spring practice. Now, before people don't overreact too much to this, what they're talking about is going to kind of an OTA model like we see in the NFL.
Okay.
Which means that you may have teams practice for a couple of weeks, and not just in March or April, but in May, June, something like that. So that is a possibility that they are looking at. The other thing, and this is about to happen, and it needs to happen, is the portal window is going to be limited to one.
Yep.
They're going to have one portal, and that portal is probably either going to be in April or January. Now, it probably would be more helpful to do it in January, Now, the other thing that is a possibility here is going to be we say do away with spring practice, but as Terry mentioned about this a few weeks ago, what they would do is they would go from having your spring practice basically clumped together in March and April and spread it around to where it'd be more, for lack of a better word, more of an NFL model. Is what they would have. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This whole thing basically eventually is going to an NFL model.
Yeah.
Terry said this for months.
Oh, wouldn't it?
In years, frankly, without misquoting you here, young man.
No, you're right. Why not just the NFL has invented the wheel on most of these issues.
Yes.
Why not just go mimic as best you can what the NFL has done?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to throw this out, and this is cynical Terry coming out. And I'm like you, Brent, man. I've been around this thing for a long time now. With regard to the OTAs and maybe splitting up practice and all, the first thing that I would like to tell that group, I would like to say, I wish you would concentrate on more pressing things. I think when to practice and when not to practice and making them OTAs, I think there are bigger fish to fry right now, issue-wise, such as getting the damn playoff expanded and set, and OTAs or mimicking OTAs or splitting OTAs up in April, May. That is important, but there are bigger fish to fry. Committees and all. Get your priorities and in order. God, the group that runs college football has driven me mad for 40 years.
I know.
They act like they're splitting the freaking atom.
They do.
You know?
I agree with that. But before I talk about some individual team stuff, I wanted to throw that out there, make people aware of that.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more going on behind the scenes here than we realize.
I agree. One big thing, Brent, and I know you got some players to get to. I thought a big headline potentially, I hope it's not much because I love this player, but I think Nussmeier being a little banged up at LSU, that's worth keeping an eye on. They're saying he's dealing with a patellar tendonitis issue, and LSU is one of the teams that could have a big season as long as they've got their quarterback.
Wow. They could. Let me explain that a little bit, because basically while you guys are on the air, the coach came out and what he said was that Nussmeier was going to be okay.
Okay.
This has kind of been a lingering thing for him, that he does have tendonitis in his patella. But he does not have a torn ACL, as people thought. And Kelly said, and some of this coach speak, we understand this, on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 1.5.
Okay.
But the main thing he said was Nussmeier did not suffer a major injury in dealing with the patella tendonitis. Kelly said this is a chronic situation. It's tendonitis. It's like a bad ankle. He just planted the wrong way.
I tell you, think about the last several absolute cards that LSU has had as head coaches.
Yes.
Les Miles was I loved Les Miles. I think it was pretty good. He was a pretty good coach, but Les Miles was a caricature all to himself. Ed Orgeron, hey Pat. Ed Orgeron, you talk about a character all to himself, and then Brian Kelly. I don't know if Brian Kelly's half crazy, stupid.
It's weird because when he gets on Paul Feinbaum, you love the guy.
Isn't he weird? Yeah. Sometimes he comes across as the most lucid, normal guy. Then he's in left field somewhere. I don't know what his deal is.
Stop happening.
The thing with Kelly is, and you remember that. You remember he had this dance video basically with one of his crew. Do you remember that?
Yeah, uncomfortable.
But look, Kelly's a little nuts. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, the guy can also coach. I mean, when you basically own the records at Notre Dame, I mean, you've done something well, haven't you, in your life?
Yeah.
By the way, the Notre Dame's going to be very good again this year, we think.
Who's the quarterback?
What's that?
Notre Dame quarterback?
It's funny. Notre Dame's quarterback is going to start out C.J. Carr.
Yeah.
Highly recruited, hasn't played any really to speak of, and he's the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr, and he goes to Notre Dame. How about that? How weird is that?
Yeah, well, it is strange, and the weirdest thing I've seen was and look, we all did this, but it's okay. Was everyone getting overreacting about all the Gator receivers, thinking they were down to maybe one or two, and then it comes out yesterday that basically about every one of them were back at practice.
Yeah, back at practice.
So, but those are things that happen during this time. But yes, we needed to get that out there because Nussmeier is okay. And he's just dealing with some stuff that he's been dealing with for a while.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, that's the main thing I wanted to share with that.
And the thing with Nussmeier, when I saw that this morning, and then you're seeing it's a little better, rosier painted picture now. I think LSU is going to be up there. They're good.
Yeah, I agree.
They got a chance, but if something crazy happened and Nussmeier doesn't play the opener, and they drop. Let's say Clemson gets LSU, they drop the opener LSU, then they almost have to beat Florida that night in Baton Rouge because if LSU is sitting there with 2 losses that early in the season, you might have one more mulligan, but it would be tough to run the table the rest of the way if they have 2 losses in mid-September.
Yeah. Now here's a distance, and Pat can tell us the psychology behind this. LSU normally has every one of their games on there. They've got a big board in their training room and so forth. But anyway, the only game that's been mentioned, the only game that's been uncovered is the Clemson game. So they know they are on the clock. They know they've got to win that game because they virtually not won an opener this decade.
Isn't that amazing?
So that is something to think about. So there's your psychology from LSU is we're not ignoring this. We're not going to say we're going straight and talking about the SEC. This is a game we've got to win, and we're taking this seriously. And I'm telling you, this is a good Clemson team. That may be a better game than Ohio State, Texas, frankly.
It could be. Pat, when you were back at Florida, 11, 12, 13, 14, social media was not anywhere near what it is. I guess it was just getting started, really. Do you, thinking back to your years at Florida and your teammates and just young guys at that age, that 19, 20, 22, 23, Pat, do you think if you were at Florida and social media was as mature as it is today back then, would you have been a guy that just every day at 2:30 at practice, would you walk on the court and go, "Hey, did you see what they talked about you?" Or, "Hey, Prather," would you have followed it like crazy? Would you have had your nose in it like crazy? Do you think your teammates also, or no?
I don't think it would have been that simple. I'm sure, let's say, for instance, and look, this is public information. When Scotty Wilbekin got in trouble with a drug test back then.
Remember that?
If someone would have said something probably insulting, and it was somebody that we knew that maybe was in our circle, not in our circle, but I would say, "Hey, Scotty, can you believe this
reachable? Reachable.
This person that was reachable, we've interacted before. They're saying this about you, and it's not in a way to embarrass them or whatever, but man, this is, I said, this isn't right. What do you want to do?"
I still think every athlete, I should not make a blanket statement like that. I still think the majority of athletes and or coaches that say
I never read any social media. I think they do. I think they do. And I don't care how big and popular you are. I think it must hurt to see negative stuff about yourself. Wouldn't you imagine you're in your home on a Tuesday night and you just happen to be reading some social media and there's something negative about you? That has to hurt, I would think.
And that's why these guys, even though at their age, they've got to be able to tune some of that out.
You got to, man. Like, one of the things that coaches try to teach you early on, middle school, high school, is to try to not take coaching and criticism personal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to not take that stuff. And look, you ask any 10-year-old, 12-year-old out there on the street, do you want to be liked? Do you like it when people like you? And they're all going to say yes.
Yeah.
How about, do you think you can handle when people don't like you? They would say, no, why don't they like me?
Yeah.
And, that instant like that, you can see the disposition. Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
Correct.
Pat, I just had something that hit me regarding the high-level athletes at high-level universities. Basketball player, Patric Young, football player. In terms of like just walking into a class or walking on campus, you guys, basketball and football, I think, had a bigger target, or they do now, because it's visually easy to see 6'10" Patric Young and go, basketball player. Hey, Young, nice game, you loser. Or it's, but you know what I mean? It's easier to see. Let me finish. It's easier to see 6'6", 320-pound Austin Barber, left tackle.
Yeah.
Hey, there's that Gator left tackle that gave up a sack, versus you could have 1,000 students walk by and you couldn't tell that's the shortstop or that's the 100-meter track guy.
You're right.
They don't stand out. But the football, basketball player,
yeah,
I think the eyeball test, you could get picked on a lot more.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I just remember freshman year, and I'm sure athletes to this day, there's a Chick-fil-A at the hub, and that's where, everyone gathers before going to class. And one of my classes with my professor I'm still friends with to this day, Ed Kellerman. It was intro to communications, and then internet. We were 5, 6, 7 at Florida athletes deep, football and basketball. Man, it was. I would think for the regular students, that had to be intimidating for them. But and those kids, they were coming in. If I had Chick-fil-A, I always try to eat it before going in the class.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to be in the class.
Yeah.
A distraction to my professor. But there was a lot of those football players, they didn't care.
Hey guys, let me mention real quick. We'll talk about this on Monday, but there are several scrimmages tomorrow. This is the first scrimmage for a lot of teams. I know Alabama, Tennessee, et cetera, from the league. They're having scrimmages tomorrow. We'll have more on that on Monday. These are important. The first two, your third one's usually a special team scrimmage.
Yeah.
Something of that nature. But we'll know a lot more. And
I'll tell you, to a degree, I'm excited about tomorrow's game, Jaguars Steelers, at least the first quarter. I would be ecstatic to have the scrimmages tomorrow, just a basic camera.
Yeah,
and,
really.
And give me two of the sports information young guys that know the teams. Just saying, hey, number 31 in orange that just made that catch, that's Pete Smith. I would watch those.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I wish they did that. But they don't.
Yeah, but just letting folks know, we'll have a lot of info on Monday.
Yeah.
Or at least we'll have.
And Brent, to sum up what you just said as we're getting out of here, I don't mean to cut you off. We got 1 minute left. Tomorrow, the college guys now. We're talking college guys. Tomorrow, basically everybody's been going about a week. Tomorrow, a lot of places will have their first of two. And then the following Saturday, I think they have their second. And then it doesn't have to be on a Saturday, but the third one will come up. Sometime it's a weekday, but they'll have a third real laid back one, as you said. So we're getting there with college.
Yeah, we are. That's exciting to see. But guys, I know time's almost draw is nigh, but wish you both well this weekend. But yeah, it's about to get going, and this is even, Pat. This is even when Terry and I watch a little bit of NFL.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to have a wet weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, which will help the viewing pleasure for many people. Yes.
Yeah. There you go. All right, guys. Good stuff as always. Patrick, appreciate you. Brett Beard as well, and of course Casey Kurtz. That'll just about wrap it up. If you're heading down to the stadium, let me throw a quick kind of a PSA. Talked to a buddy of mine again today. That's part of the construction down at the stadium, and there is construction going on. I know it's years ahead. But they have to get started now for the timeline. Be prepared. There's going to be some turns and circle backs that you're not used to. And you're going to be told you can and can't. And what do you mean? I go up this elevator. Well, that elevator's not working anymore right now, or that escalator. So be a little bit frugal, not frugal, but be a little bit prudent and go a little early. I've been told there are a bunch of little turns and not turns that you're going to have to take or not take.
Be gracious.
There you have it. That'll wrap it up. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more on a Monday, the Monday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Can't wait to talk to you folks. Have a great, safe weekend, everybody.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles U Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum. With we armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean